In this video, I'm gonna show you everything you need to know about the Sculk Horde mod, how to defeat it, and how everything works. And the first thing we're gonna do is start the Horde, and to do that, you need to head to 0, 0. So we're gonna dig straight down, and we arrive at the Sculk Tomb. Don't worry, there is no Sculk yet, but if you head down, there's some good loot, all the way to the last room. At the bottom of the Sculk Tomb, there is this, the Ancient Node, and if you trigger it without dying, you will awaken the Horde, and now these things will spawn everywhere. There will be the infection, and once you find your way out, slowly but surely, you're gonna start seeing some Sculk spawning above ground. And this is where it all begins. After a while, you're gonna see these things spawn. These spawner here. And now, mobs will spawn in your world like this. They will attack, of course, you, but also every mobs around here. Cows, pigs, any animals around here is food for the Horde. You're gonna infect them and grow mass out of it. And this is where the effect comes in. The lure makes the mobs target you from even further. Right now they are focused on this cow right now, but it's fine, it's fine. We're gonna be the next target. And after a certain point, the mobs will bury in you. Let's have this, okay, there we go. We have the burrowed effect. And this basically means you're infected. You will propagate the Horde. So if we go far away, let's say we flee this place. Oh my God, you're gonna kill me, oh no, let's get away. And we have 5 seconds left. Oh my God, we have 5 seconds left of burrowed. We're fine, there's no problem here. And suddenly, you spread the Horde. It doesn't only apply to players, but every passive mobs or even hostile that they can find. So they're gonna probably attack, okay, me first, okay, goodbye. Now, one way the Sculk can spread is with these Phantom. Once the Horde is released, it will release a bunch, like what, 15? Sculk Phantom around the world, starting from the location of the tomb. But these Phantom, they generate chunk and they will roam aimlessly until they suddenly fall down and infect an area in your world. The more it will grow, the more mass it will gain. You aim like a garbage. And this is where you can use some commands to look at what the Horde has. You don't need up to do this. You can just do Sculk Horde status all to know everything about the Horde. And right now it has accumulated a total of 821 mass. And the mass is what makes the grave mine evolve. Because right now it is undeveloped. Let's set it to 5,000. Please leave me alone. And there we go, a developed threat. Have the grave mine evolve from undeveloped to immature. And this is, oh my God, can you please stop? And this is where things get more dangerous. I'm just gonna wait for it to spawn. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. A Sculk node has spawned somewhere in the world. I think it's spawned somewhere around here. There we go. We have the darkness effect. There's a node. And the node right here, as you can see, well, as you can try to see, is gonna grow to a big ball around here and start to spawn some spire of living rock around here. While in the immature state, there can only be 4 nodes, but once the mass reaches 20,000, there could be 8 nodes at the same time. But it seems like at this point, there's nothing you can do. The Horde is spreading, there's no way to stop it, and that is where there is a way to slow and even stop the Horde. The first and easiest step to fight the Horde is to craft some Purification potion. And to craft those Purification flasks, you will need Essence of Purity. And it's basically a golden apple with 4 amethyst shards. But this is the base of every Purification on this mod. Well, this thing gives you the Purity effect, which prevents you from getting burrowed and lured. Also, it cleanses a bit, just a tiny bits, so it can help you like repair your base if something happens to it. It won't prevent you from getting blinded by the node. But if you want to stop the Horde in a more serious way, you will have to go in the Horde to fight mobs and get material from it to fight it. One of the things you can use to repel or prevent the Horde from infecting is this infestation ward block. This thing prevents the Horde from infecting 1 block around it. So if you do a barrier like this, every block, including diagonal, cannot be infected by the Sculk. So you can use this to protect your base, protect an area where you fight the Horde, and the best way to visualize it is to try it on a super flat world, just like this. I think it has a really important message that I want to tell you. I wonder what it is. yeah, maybe subscribe. Now, to craft these infestation ward block, you need something special created by the node itself. And right now, it hasn't been long enough for it to spawn it, so we're gonna wait a bit. But while we're waiting, I'm gonna talk to you about the other methods to fight the horde. And the most effective way is with the infestation purifier. This little item right here in my hand will cleanse and kill the mobs around me. But to get it, you need a crying soul. And to get a crying soul, you need crying obsidian that is infested by the horde. So hopefully this guy will infest these crying obsidian. Oh, there we go. Now we have infested crying obsidian, and if you mine this with a diamond pickaxe, of course, because it's like crying obsidian, you can turn it into the crying souls. The other item is the Sculk Resin. If you noticed while I was running around and flying around, there is some beehive spawning. And these beehive will spawn some bees that will produce some resin, and this one is not ready to be collected, but this one here is at spawn because it's been longer since we've been here. So, let's collect it. Goodbye. And once you shear a beehive like this, you're gonna get a Sculk Resin, and let me get to somewhere safe, aka the creative mode. You need 4 of them to craft an infestation purifier. Also, the crying soul, you need to purify it, so you will need 8 essence of purity to make a pure soul. Alright, the node is fully formed, and there seems to be 1 living rock spire that is forming around here, and this is the block that you need to make the ward block. You need 8 Sculk a living rock with an essence of purity to create the infestation, 16 of it. You will need a diamond pickaxe for this, because iron doesn't make it. But the living rock is not the only thing that will spawn with this spire. There's also another type of ore called the calcite ore, and you need to mine this. With 4 of them, 4 Sculk Resin, you can make finally the infestation purifier. And the way it works, you need to place it down and it will become an entity, a mob. And it has HP. You will need to defend this thing because the horde is not happy that this thing is destroying their land. The mobs will, start to attack it. Although it does damage to every mobs around, they will try to destroy it. Like you see, it's attacking it, so you will need to be prepared to fight back. And one way you can defend your infestation purifier is with the Sculk Sweeper. This is a really, really powerful weapon to fight back the horde. You will need the Sculk Enderman Cleaver, 2 Crying Soul, and 2 Echo Shards, so you will also need to find an ancient city to get these shards. But basically, after a certain time, a Sculk Enderman will spawn and will try to start a raid. And the way the raid works, it's gonna spawn a Sculk Enderman somewhere in the world. You're gonna see the coordinates. But once the Sculk Enderman is scouting for a raid, you have a short amount of time to kill it before a raid starts. And if a raid starts, this area is pretty much doomed. But don't worry if you don't kill the Enderman during the scouting moments. It's gonna spawn at the end like a boss. So you can still fight the Sculk Enderman and get your weapon. And once it has accumulated a certain charge, you can right click to spawn a bunch of spike on every Sculk mobs around you. Anyway, so that's how you fight off the horde, but how do you actually kill it? The first thing you will need to do is to find all of the nodes, and luckily for us, there's one right here. And this is the only one. And inside this giant sphere, there is the node itself. And you need to get to the center, and one of the best way to do it, get to the center out like this, is to light up TNT, to dig into the core like this, to get to this node right here. Do you see it? There we go. We've destroyed the node and destroyed 3,000 mass out of the Sculk Horde. But as you could see, it is not an easy task to fight the horde. There's mob everywhere. You're always blinded. There's always something running after you. But once every node are destroyed, like right now, you will need to go back to the Sculk Tome one last time with a pure soul in your hand. And like the same thing with a node, you're gonna be blinded, so you better find your way. And once you're down there again, next to the metal chamber, we're gonna put a few purifier here just to be safe. You need to tower up to the ancient node that is somewhere here. If I could see something, it's a good idea to bring some torch to see something. Oh, there it is. Now you need to right click it with the pure soul. And there we go. The horde has been defeated. Oh yeah. Does that mean that everything will return back to normal? No. Does this mean that most of the stuff will stop spreading mob from spawning? Yes. but there's still some job to do. There's mobs that are present are still existing, and they will try to infect, and Enderman can spawn, like you see. There's a mute Sculk Enderman right here. Hi! Ow! Oh my god. I'm in full protection for netherite armor, and it's destroying me. It is not an easy fight. Can you stop teleporting, please? Thank you. So you better be ready to fight these guys. It is not an easy task. If you have more questions, there's the wiki link in the description. But as always, thanks for watching, and expect even more content on the Sculk Horde coming soon. I'm working on something really big, so I hope to put it out in the next month, hopefully before Christmas. I don't know, it's taking me way more time than I thought it would. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Where's this Enderman? I need to get spots. Come here, boy!